Do you feel like we're getting to that kind of precipice where alcohol may go the way of tobacco, where people like finally caught up to like everything that's truly, wrong about it? And again, I'm not going to say like tobacco itself, nicotine has benefits, right? There are some neurological. It's the abuse of it, it's the constant use. It was the toxins they threw in with it, all these things that really made it so bad. And it was the marketing saying it would be healthy. It's not that bad for so many years, the lies that finally, when they unraveled, now you have that kind of shift away from smoking cigarettes. Do you feel alcohol is going to go the same way?
Yes, I've been saying for about 2 years now that my hypothesis is that in at least 2 decades, I think it'll still take another 20 years. My hypothesis is that we will look at alcohol with the same level of disdain that we currently do cigarettes.
Yeah.
And people think I'm crazy because alcohol's so embedded in the culture, which it is undoubtedly. But this can happen quickly. Like society can change very, very fast. I mean, look back to 2007. That was when the iPhone was launched, right?
Mhm.
Like, another way of saying it, that's when smartphones were launched. I mean, that was, as we're recording this, 17 years ago. Look how the world has changed from the invention of a device that sits in our pocket that has more power in it than the power needed to send astronauts to the moon back in the 1960s. I mean, we have a spaceship in our pocket that we carry around with us, and that's fundamentally changed how we live. It's changed our focus, distraction. It's given us an ability to live remotely. People are now no longer feel like they have to work in an office in a location-based business. It's allowed us to roam the world and change. So it's changed society in just 17 years. And my hypothesis, again, as it relates to alcohol, is that as this younger generation comes up, as the oldest generation passes through, and as people's education increases, and as medical sophistication increases, we're going to see a huge tidal wave of change where people are demanding alcohol-free alternatives. And I don't think that these nightclubs, I mean, already in the UK, you're seeing nightclubs are shutting down because the younger generation just aren't going to as many nightclubs anymore. I saw an article in the British press only a month ago that nightclubs across the UK are shutting down because the younger generation who traditionally go to nightclubs are not going there anymore. Or they are going, but they're just not buying the big profit maximizers, which is the alcohol.
Yeah, the margins on alcohol kind of sustain a lot of the nightclub industry and also sometimes the restaurant, of course, the bar industry. Do you think that though the vice will just change, right? Tobacco went way down, vaping came around, right? If alcohol goes out the window, usually people kind of switch their vices. Now, there is a counterpoint. Maybe this is your point as well, that we are in a need to be hyper productive and well optimized machines in this day and age. We're kind of fighting against AI and all these other things, and we have gotten to a point where so many are working at this level where it's an information age. Our brains need to work on different levels than they did during industrial times, let's say, where it was about muscle and power and just technical things. So which one do you think it is? Do you think we will be just switching vices and we'll continue as humans to do what we always do? It's just replace one thing for another that may be worse? Or are we going to actually embrace this sort of information age, be healthier beings, and go into this optimal state?
I think we'll probably continue to have the same proportion of people just switch to a different vice because
Yeah,
humans are humans,
humans are human.
unless we can really promote personal development, conscious communication, and really help build human beings up from the ground in terms of let's get you feeling joyful, happy, calm, so you don't feel the need to reach for a vice. Because the only thing that a vice is something to distract us from the discomfort of being us.
Yes.
That's all alcohol is. It's our discomfort just being us. Because think about it, we're stressed, we're anxious. I need something to break the stress and anxiety. Right, I'm going to reach for this poison. Or for someone else, it might be they turn to shopping. For someone else, it might be love addiction. For other people, it might be porn. For other people, it's food. Alcohol is not unique in the sense that it is still a vice that people turn to, amongst other things, to distract them from the discomfort of just being themselves. And so a lot of what we do in our alcohol-free lifestyle program, we have a 90-day stop drinking program and process. The University of Washington did a scientific study on our process in 2023, and the results were a 98% reduction in drinking from the scientific study participants. And what we do is we don't just spend 90 days coaching people how to stop drinking alcohol. We spend 90 days getting them comfortable being themselves, not reaching for anything that would numb the pain of them being themselves. Because if you've got a happy human, or at least a happier human, the need for alcohol or porn or shopping or love decreases. It evaporates. And now we're just free to be in what I would submit as our natural state, which is just calm, joyous, peaceful, happy. Then everything's golden.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big part of what you see when you see disease in general and dysregulation of a person. You usually see someone in a fight or flight where their sympathetic nervous system is just fried. It's always on. They're always in a fight, stress-related reaction. And when you don't have a balanced autonomic nervous system, things start to go, whether that's hormonal, adrenal, organ-related, immune system, they all start to break down because of that.
Yes.